Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. We're going to be covering another episode of the War Room, and as you guys have been following the series with all the large scale fights and stuff, we're going to be watching today some open scale fighting from the beginning of a pass opening. So I hope you enjoy today's episode. Hello everyone and welcome. We're going to be covering today on the War Room a fight between two titans, or should I say 3 and 4 titans. We've got DX, JEDI and NXCD versus the BxS Alliance and their family, right? This is on server 33. So what we're going to be doing on today's War Room is showcasing here the strategy involved. So what I'm going to go is showcase here on the blue is the BxS line of basically where they're going to have to come and attack from, right? So I am assuming this is where the battlefield is going to go, right? So they're going to march their troops around, go down through the center and meet the main JEDI alliances. And the JEDI, you won't be able to see it at the moment, but they are coming just below where my MrSneakyy banner is. And from here, you're going to see them come up through the north. And you can see this is a very similar path coming all the way through across a few bridges and then eventually stopping, as you can see, where I would assume them to stop from. And by doing this, it allows obviously BX to then choose where they want to go. Do they want to go to the right and start protecting this ramp, or do they keep fighting forward, right? So it's a really interesting dynamic that you can have in the game, and this is just like my opening thoughts on what you could expect in this bit of the war episode. So like I said, we're going to go over and showcase some of their strategies, and here is a really good one for you guys. In Stars Reignited, if you saw there, 2 of the flag placements is very amazing, and it allows them to actually build really effectively. And as you can see, the flow of combat which we were talking about is following around that line as we was discussing about to reach this bridge. So this is one of the bridges that they can go for, or there's a middle bridge and an even lower bridge, all in the middle zone. So there's 3 different connections that you can get through. But you can see here again the main boys coming out of the pass, and they're basically moving as one unit and assembling their main murder ball for hopefully a defensive position, right? Here you're going to be able to zoom in and see as well the DX guys, and they're just equally as strong, right? They're building their flags from the area which we was saying from, and moving up into the middle of the map. So with all that said, what we're going to do is showcase now some more of the map and explain what we're going to be aiming to expect, you know, from these guys. Because again, if they're coming up and down from this location here, going across this bridge, basically going down into this middle zone now, what it means is these DX forces that are coming up from where we've just noticed them and going across that bit of land tile and going into the bridge, it means that center map again is so far from the beginning of the video, by the way, is going to be where the dead zone could be, right? It's where the main battlefield of the center could be. This is where these guys could be figuring out where they're going to go from. So with this, let's move on to the next clip, which has a bit more open field combat and seeing how this situation does develop from our instincts, from what we've been learning so far from the series here with you guys that's been following the War Room. So let's go in and change it up and talk about some open field gameplay. So here we are at some open field gameplay, and this is a bit of footage caught while we was waiting for all of that major action to occur. The BxS Alliance obviously has an academy, and their academy is fighting in Navula in this region against LOCY, and it's a really good gameplay footage because you're going to see some spectacular bit of flanking here from the BxS Alliance. So it's allowing you to showcase the different strategies involved with the environments that is around. And a really cool thing you saw there by LOCY's score up there, he charges in and puts a nice defensive line there to stop this flank from coming in. And by doing that, it's going to be a nice little good defensive strategy, because again, if these guys, the BxSA alliance, were defending and attacking from this position on the right side, and they get that two-prong attack from the flank now, it allows cavalry units to free flow and actually cause more issues on the open field. So that's what you're going to be able to see here. You can see now the LOCY trying to defend the best themselves. They've got a nice tight ball though, and the thing is, with a nice tight ball, it is good in certain situations, but in this situation right now, it isn't the way forward, and you can see their numbers are slowly dwindling, and this is all because of the BxSA focusing and AoE targeting that we've been talking about in some of the previous episodes, and this is where you can see it predominantly in a monster of a showcase ship, right? So I hope you've been enjoying this little bit of footage that has been captured for this fight. It's been an amazing experience to be a part of, and if you guys actually do just want to watch these big boy fights that were occurring live, you can go on my channel, check the live area, and it is the Server 33 short stream live commentary. So if you check that out, you can watch all of this live. So here, going back into it now, you can see the BxSA have been able to actually defend and fight off that left flank almost. So now they're trying to do that two-pronged attack, as you saw nicely illustrated there. But LOCY doing a fantastic job stopping it, right? They're putting units there that are like Garwoods and stuff to block the path units from coming in. And by blocking those units, their main murder ball can then target them. But when we're looking at the numbers here, the numbers are slowly dwindling for the LOCY, and the BxSA are looking very healthy in terms of numbers here. So it isn't looking great for LOCY, but again, this is showcasing a very good bit of strategy on both teams, right? Even though you might win some, you might lose some fights, it's all about the strategy, and everyone can learn, as you guys can tell, from strategies from both sides here. The fact that the way LOCY defended their position, and then the way BxSA was trying to do those crazy two-way flanks, that's eventually now coming through, and they're pushing into the main land. So that is it so far. We're going to move on to the final part of today's episode, so I hope you've been enjoying the War Room with me, MrSneakyy. Welcome back, guys. So the finale of this War Room episode. I hope you've been enjoying episode 6 of the series so far, and today we've been showcasing some really great combat in Server 33. So here is the finale of now BxSA pushing through, and the LOCY gets support from the DXP. So here you can see the nice defensive murder ball by the BxSA are attacking two different fronts. And the problem with this is, even though it's a little bit out of line, is that live draw, right? The live draw showcasing the massive mountain, and the cool thing about that mountain is it's creating a division which would potentially allow cavalry units to swing around from underneath and catch the BxSA alliances off guard if they're quick enough and catching them at the right moment. But here you can see some fantastic, and I mean this is fantastic focusing, and this is what I wanted to kind of showcase in today's episode with the initial push, right? In the initial opening hours of the pass opening, the things to take care of here is obviously building as fast as you can, and when you are fighting, make sure you are focusing up. If you are focusing up and you are targeting the correct units and creating a really good situation where your alliances are getting 3-to-1 wins on trades on your units, it's going to allow you basically to keep building further and further and more aggressively, to the point where you can then eventually teleport more central and be a massive force to refresh with your troops. So I hope that makes sense to you today, and this is why these type of videos are really good, because you can see these two little small murder ball pockets here being used by the LCY and the DXP, but the BxA are one massive ball. You've got BxSA plus BxL there, all working together, and they are focusing down the same unit. So right now they're going down on Silenced Rain, and by doing that, as you can see, ML and Silenced Rain again absolutely pummeled by AoE damage and single target burst. And just like that, one's down, here goes the second one, and then they should, in theory, be start targeting the guy who's going closest to him, which is going to be the one that is happening. And then they switch targets instantly, so you can see that switch of targets when the infantry retreats, right? The quick instincts that a lot of these players have is quite amazing. But now Murok, they're pushing as a frontline unit. You can see the remaining of these BxA Alliance members trying to put pressure so they can get away. But you can imagine they've done so much work here. They do need to either escape or die fighting, right? Die fighting and get as maximum of those merits as you can. Because the thing is, if you are getting, again, like we said earlier in this clip, if you're able to get positive trades in this and push yourselves to the point where you are refreshing your troops basically on a less basis because you're getting 2 or 3 to 1 trades, you are gonna win that open field fight. So that is going to be the conclusion to today's episode of the War Room. Episode 6 with me, MrSneakyy. I hope you've enjoyed it. In the background, it's just going to be a little bit of the replay of what we've just been witnessing. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to watch more PvP commentary videos with me, remember, smash that like, comment, and subscribe for more daily Call of Dragons content. And I'm here giving you all the PvP lessons, hero guides, events, behemoths, you name it. Call of Dragons related, we're here to give you an amazing experience. So, with all that said, stay safe, stay sneaky, and enjoy the rest of the video and the last of the episode.